What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl. Let's get into this commentary. Hey guys, so today I want to talk about Summer Wells. Now, my homegirl BB, what's up, girl? She sent me an email with a link to this article about Summer Wells' disguise. Okay. Now, before I jump into that, I just want to explain something. I used to follow this case heavy when it first came out that she was missing. I was following it heavy. All right. I even had my side eye on the parents, okay? But you know what? I stepped back from this case. I took a break from it because it was consuming me, just like how the West Boys was consuming me, Orrin and Orson, because I couldn't figure out how these kids disappeared, okay, without the parents knowing about it in the house. And the same for Summer Wells. How did she disappear if she was going in her house in the basement? Like, who was there waiting for her? Who took Summer? But then, when you see people online talk about the case and you talk about it with them and they attack you because they think they know everything. So I had to fall back because you get a lot of people online that think they know everything. They think they knew more than the detectives themselves. Okay. And everybody that's into this case, we speculate. Okay. We try to put things together. We become internet sleuths. We think we are sleuths, right? We're trying to figure out, how did she disappear? Who took her? Just like with Orrin and Orson, who took those boys? You get what I'm saying? And it breaks my heart because there's not even a clue. There's nothing. There's nothing, leading to where they could be. And when things consume me, I have to take a break from it. It doesn't mean I don't care about the cases no more, because I do care about cases. When it comes to children missing, that's one thing. It just really bothers me. And if you're a parent, or if you're not a parent, if you feel strongly about something, it's going to affect you. So I had to fall back from those two cases, Orrin and Orson, and also Summer Wells, because I could not figure out for the life of me, how do these kids disappear when they are in the same home with their parents? You get what I'm saying? It just didn't, it still don't make sense to me. And then when you read stuff online or you join these groups, I joined a lot of Facebook groups about these children to see, what we could come up with. But it's worse, because some of those groups, they think they know everything. Okay? And if you're not getting interviews with the people that's involved with the case, then you are nothing to them. And that's why I had to just leave the groups alone. I'm not going to sit there and give you my ideas or how I feel about something if you think that I'm too much of a small channel for you to discuss a case with. So I had to fall back. And that's why I stopped following a lot of true crime channels, because some of them you support them, and some of them they don't support you back. So I fell back. I still watch a few here and there. I still keep up with this case. Like, I know Summer Wells' mom was on Dr. Phil. I feel like she shouldn't have went on no talk shows. Summer Wells' mom does not need to be on any talk shows at all. Okay? She really don't. And it's got to the point where it's hard to figure out what the heck happened. It's like, I don't know. But let's just go ahead and get into this article about, Summer Wells being disguised and stuff like that. Summer Wells was last seen on June 15th outside her family's Rogersville, Tennessee home in Hawkins County, Beech Creek community. Okay, her mother, Candace Bly, says Summer went to the basement to play with toys after planting flowers in the front yard with her grandmother and Bly. When Bly went to go check, now Bly is the mother. When Bly went to go check on her daughter later that evening, she said she found the basement empty and the door to it was unlocked. Now, like I said before, if someone went down that basement, somebody, you know, could have been waiting for her, or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of different things out there, and sometimes these speculations could hurt the case. So you got to be careful what you put out there, right? So it's all these different pictures of what she may look like with different types of hairstyles and stuff like that. So Summer's mom and her father, Don Wells, have insisted that their daughter was kidnapped. They believe she was abducted and bundled into a car. Now, the police say there's no leads in the case that have materialized, and detectives haven't found evidence to support their claims. Now, Bly and Wells, who was at work at the time, have been treated with suspicion over Summer's mysterious disappearance. They both deny of any wrongdoing and claim to have passed a lie detector test regarding what happened to her. Okay, so now, we know about the Summer Wells dancing in front of a barrel that says for sale, and people think that she was being auctioned off or she was being sold because she was by this barrel that says for sale. The barrel itself could have been for sale, but because someone was dancing near it and she was being filmed, people were thinking maybe her parents sold her and stuff like that. And I'm not, it's like there's a lot of different things that people have been saying on the internet. A lot of different things. But it's very, how can I say, it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. And these pictures of what summer hair could look like now, wow. I just pray that little girl is okay. I just hope that, if she was kidnapped, I hope there's no harm done. Okay? Just like with Orrin and Orson West. They was kidnapped, I hope there was no harm done. There's still no evidence of where these children could be. And that's why I'm feeling some type of way now. And that's why I stopped really talking about it so much, because it was making me upset. I have kids, I have grandchildren. And oh my God, if anything was to happen to them, I don't even want to think about it. But to see how people talk online about these cases and how they go at someone's throat because they feel that what the other person is saying is not good enough, or, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Have you followed the case from beginning to now and all this kind of stuff? It just becomes too much because people do too much. All right? Folks do too much at times when it comes to these type of things. So the family shared photos of what Summer might look like in a disguise, okay? And it's on a website, on YouTube. It says findsummerwells.com. And it got pictures of her of different hairstyles or what, how she could be disguised. Now, here's the thing. Summer Wells' neighbors heard a scream before she disappeared, okay? And to be honest with you, I really don't think Candace and Dawn should have went on Dr. Phil. They don't need to be on any talk shows at all. At all. And I know I've been seeing this name, Jody Sue Brown, a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she did a couple of interviews on YouTube with a few channels, I think. So Jody Sue Brown told News Channel 11 that she and her two kids heard a scream about 30 minutes before they started searching for Summer, who went missing in the Hawkins County Beech Creek community on June 15th in Tennessee. Right? Earlier in the day, Jody Sue and her 19-year-old and 14-year-old children were listening to outdoor noises as issues in the neighborhood had occurred the day before. We were kind of hyper alert because of property things that happened the day before, so we were listening for noise. Everyone was quiet, she said. Now, Jody Sue recalled a car that went up the Wells driveway that struck her wrong. Next, the neighbors heard a truck door slam, which they didn't think anything of at that time. Shortly after the trio heard the alarming scream, that was the moment they became extremely concerned. It stopped all three of us cold, said Jody Sue. Her son added, we heard this shrill, almost animalistic scream. Animalistic, but not an animal, he said. Now, shortly after, Jody Sue and her son went out to see where it came from. My son and I decided to go out and see what we can see. We went back on the bank, didn't see anything, didn't hear anything, she recalled. Around 6 p.m., Jody Sue went out to her driveway and heard people searching for Summer. She said, at this point, I started hearing them holler for Summer. By the third, I knew something was wrong. And then my brain immediately went scream earlier. This, uh-oh. I dropped my purse, she said. I tried to yell up at Candace, and I'm like, I'm looking, and I started looking. While Jody Sue did report the scream when she heard it back in June, she said she wishes every day that when she heard the scream, she hadn't tried to dismiss it. Well, you know what? Sometimes things happen. Okay? Sometimes things happen, and until later on when we start to see things develop. Okay? She heard the scream, and she didn't think nothing of it. Okay? And that's kind of normal in a way. You hear something, you're like, what is that? All right, it's probably nothing. And then when something happened, and in this case, it's like, oh my God, that's what it was. I don't think there was nothing she could have done, but I don't think she should beat herself up about it. You know what I'm saying? But it is kind of eerie to know that you heard a scream and then afterwards, here's a child that's missing. That is an eerie feeling. I would have an eerie feeling. Probably the hairs are standing up on my arm as I'm talking about it. It just gives you this feeling. Where is Summer Wells? None of us have a clue. And like I said, if she's kidnapped, I just hope the little girl is still alive. I hope there's no harm done. Where is the West boys, Orrin and Orson? If they're kidnapped, I hope they're still alive with no harm done. And you know what? It's so evil of people, for someone to kidnap a child because they can't defend themselves. They can't fight against an adult. They can't. They're small. And these kids could be anywhere. They're probably not even in the U.S. anymore. They could be somewhere else. They could be in a different country. Okay? But Summer Wells' case always gave me this weird feeling. I'm not sitting here blaming the parents, but what do they know? If they know anything that can help this case, I hope they will talk about it. But I really do think they don't know. They got bashed a lot, on here. And that's why I stepped away. Because I'm like, okay, what if my child was missing? Will I get the same treatment? Will I get bashed? You get what I'm saying? So I had to check myself too. Because yes, I was mad at her parents. But then I had to think about it. Okay, well, who am I to judge and say these parents had anything to do with it? Okay? They're not behind bars. So that's why I know when to back off things. And this is one of these cases where I'm just waiting. This case and the West boys are the two cases that I'm willing to just back off and hope and pray that something comes up. Okay? And I hope they're found. I really do. But BB has sent me this article. I read it. And it's basically talking about, they show pictures of what she may look like with different hairstyles and stuff like that. See, I just get this feeling, and I gotta stop talking about this because it's just, when it comes to children, it just bothers me. You know what I'm saying? It just bothers me. Like, why would somebody want to kidnap a child? Can't fight back or anything. Like, come on. And there's so much going on out there in this world. So much. So much is going on. So many kids are being kidnapped. So many kids are missing. It's like, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. But anyway, guys, let me know what do you think about, if you still follow the Summer Wells case, let me know what are your thoughts about it and these disguises. And I also want to know, do you think Candace Bly should have been on the Dr. Phil show? I really do. I really think she shouldn't have went on there. I really think she shouldn't have went on there. But that's my opinion. But I just don't think she should have went on there. I don't think so. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about Orrin and Orson West? What do you think happened to them? Let's talk about it in the comment section. And I'll talk to you guys later.